Hey ladies, welcome to episode 82 of the Health, Life, and More for Women podcast. I'm your host, Jennifer D'Amato. Today, I decided wouldn't it just be so much fun to talk all about failure? Let's go.
Welcome to the Health, Life, and More for Women podcast with certified life coach, mom of four, and just all-around lover of all things 80s, your host, Jennifer D'Amato. Buckle in. Let's get started.
I thought, what's better when talking about failure than the potential to have this entire episode be a failure? I have purchased my first ever microphone for recording the podcast. If you've never seen anything behind the scenes, ladies, I've been sitting in my closet with my laptop. That's how I've been recording. Most people are shocked to find out I have nothing fancy going on here. However, it was about time I did get something fancy. And part of the reason was I wanted to be able to sit in my office in my comfy chair and not hide in the closet when I'm recording. So, first episode, brand new microphone, could be a total failure. How fitting. I mean, it really is fitting though. Because when I planned this episode, I did not actually plan to have a microphone and sit in my office and record. It was going to be the way things have been. An easy win for me. Go into the closet, record your episodes, do all the other back end work. It's a lot of work. Not going to lie. Do all of that. Easy win. Learn nothing. That's how I see this. I'm going to very potentially have to learn a whole lot from this not going well or not going as well as the way things have been going. I've been in this really easy system for recording and producing this podcast. And I'm okay completely failing in this episode. I really am. I might have to record it more than once. I might have to add an apology at the beginning for the sound quality when I'm done. But here's the lesson. I believe it's better to fail than to always be winning. When we're winning, we're not growing, we're not stretching. We're not really gaining anything other than the win. We're not gaining anything from always winning. Every single lesson that has stuck with me, everything that's been impactful in my life has been when I've failed. Now, I've talked about this. I've even had an Enneagram coach a couple of times, Hillary McCaskey, on my podcast. And she has helped me, really identify with the type 3 and see my personality and the beauty and the pain of it. One aspect of the type 3 on the Enneagram that just gets me in my gut is that I don't like to fail. I freaking hate it. Now, you might not be an Enneagram type 3. You might be like, Jen, I don't even know what that is. And I just want to direct you to my episodes with Hillary. Hillary is featured on episode 5 and episode 68. So if you want to familiarize yourself with the Enneagram, episode 5 is like all things Enneagram. And then if you want to hear your host here in the hot seat with Hillary, tune into episode 68. Now, I do hate failure. I hate failure. I think I've said it enough times that you probably get my point. But that doesn't mean I don't embrace failure. It did take me a very long time and a lot of work on my thoughts to get to the place where I want failure so that I can learn. It is an ugly place to be in my head. It is an ugly place to be. I don't like failing So my instinct is to do everything possible to not fail. That doesn't generally work out for me. I have really had to learn how to embrace that failure is going to happen. And then I've also had to embrace that I'm going to learn best when I fail. As a mom of 4 who are all older now, I can still picture each of them learning to walk. And that is probably the best visualization I've ever had of failure. If you have had a toddler learning to walk, you probably know what I mean. If we lived in a place of embracing failure like a toddler learning to walk, I wonder how much we would learn. Get up, go again. Okay, can't shift my body weight that way. Don't go that fast. Slow down. So many lessons witnessing toddlers learning to walk. Now, they all did it differently. They all learned to walk, but they all approached it differently. But they still had to embrace falling and failing and it not working and getting back up and readjusting and taking, lessons from whatever had happened so they didn't do that again if they could help it. We want to just stay in the cliche that failure is not an option. I think that's complete garbage. Failure is always an option. And failure is not necessarily the worst case scenario. Sometimes failing is the best thing you can do. I go back to this song, I might date myself here, by Garth Brooks called Unanswered Prayers. It's been coming up a lot for me lately. And I think about how I wanted things. I asked for things. I might have even prayed for things and they didn't happen. Felt like a failure at the time. But looking back, those things not happening, those fails have been the best for me in the long run. Like they probably changed the trajectory of my life because those things failed. Because those things that I was striving to win, I was striving for the success, didn't happen, didn't work out, and yet it landed me in a better place. Failure is always an option. And what can get us caught in a trap is believing that failure is always bad, that failing somehow is a character flaw in ourself. There's another song that goes something like, all I do is win, win, win. That's all I do, do, do. And while I love that song and working out to it and maybe doing a little dance, it actually doesn't work for me because when all I do is win, 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 and that's all I do, I can clearly see I'm not stretching myself. I'm not growing. I'm not doing hard things anymore. I'm just sitting in my comfort zone. Now, there's seasons and times where that comfort zone is exactly where I need to be. But if you also know an Enneagram Type 3, they don't like staying static and where they are. They want to grow, be seen, be heard, do all the amazing things, and people see them doing all the amazing things. It's actually when I've been at my worst when I stay in that place. Failing isn't just about learning those life lessons, those hard lessons, those lessons that stick with you, though that is so important to me. It's actually the lack of failure that is like a big red signal, like beeping. You know those ones you see? Okay, they don't beep, they blink. Fail. You know, when you're in a plane and you're coming in for landing, you see all those red lights, like this big signal. Hey, hello, I'm here. Don't crash into me. That's what winning all the time, that lack of failure is for me. It's a signal that you're not stretching, you're not growing, you're not moving forward. You're getting maybe complacent with where you are. You've kind of just stopped. You've stopped wanting to move forward. You've stopped giving yourself opportunity to grow. So, if I can give one solid piece of advice here on this episode, it's to allow space for failure. It's to embrace that failure is not a negative. What if that's how you showed up? What if that's how you viewed failure moving forward? I wonder what else might be different for you. I wonder if you would stretch more, grow, do things, or even if you would take a step back, look at things that have happened in your life, those things that you saw as, a failure, and really reflect and take some time of why it was a good thing, what came out of it. You might just view failure completely differently for the rest of your life. And how awesome is that to no longer fear failure? Ooh, it's going to lose all its control. I mean, watch out. Amazing things are going to happen. Now, I'm not going to lie. I'm having all the feelings right now of I'm going to go back and listen. And this episode, though the content is fantastic, I don't know what that sound quality is going to be like compared to what it's been like. It could be a total fail. It could be, maybe we'll call it a partial fail. It's something I will learn and grow and improve and stretch and all of that. Maybe it'll lean towards a win. Really don't know at this point. But I'm going to embrace whatever it is, even if it's a fail. Ladies, thank you so much for hanging with me during this attempt at something new, at this stretch. I can't tell you what it means to come on here each week and share something, a golden nugget, a piece of advice, some words of wisdom, or just my thoughts with you. If you're listening on Apple and you would just take a moment to hit that subscribe button, and if you want to, leave a review. I'll do the happy dance. You better believe it. And I'll probably pick some sort of pump up song like I shared on here. It might be all I do is win, win, win while I read your review. All right, until we meet again next week.
Hey ladies, I'm not really sure how your mornings look, but I'm wondering if you could use an influx of motivation. Yeah, where you just feel so motivated to head into your day. Well, I have the answer for you. I have created the morning motivational journal to do this for you. It has 5 components that are going to not only increase your motivation in the morning, but last throughout the day. You start off with gratitude, set your priorities, increase positive self-talk, set your intentions for nourishment, and a reminder for a big, audacious, focused goal. If this is something you know you need in your life, head into the show notes now, click Morning Motivation Journal and purchase yours today. Or you can just head to www.healthcoach4life.com/shop.